people who have the problem with managing their emotions, they usually need something to validate their egos. And these
Yeah.
are the people who crave for power, and they go to politics, to business, to make big money, to just support their own egos. People who are more balanced, more grounded, more spiritually aware, they don't have that need. They feel good about themselves without that validation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this creates this little discrepancy because these are exactly the people who should be in decision-making positions.
Yeah, because they get to see, I think as well, people like that, because when you're grounded, you get to see everyone's perspective. So when you make decisions, you're making it based on how it affects everybody, not one group. Or it's like, look, if we do this for that particular group of people, how will it
Mm-hmm.
affect other people? Well, so you make decisions from a much more grounded position, like in motherhood as well, and parenthood.
Yeah.
When you're grounded, it's much easier to see your child's perspective, because when your child's misbehaving, when you're triggered, when you're dysregulated, you see it from your perspective. This is how
Yeah.
this is affecting me. But then when you're calm and regulated, you go, okay, so this is affecting me, but how is it affecting my child, and why is this behavior happening? And then imagine if people had that mindset and that steadiness in places of power. Imagine the shift that we would see in the world. It would just be phenomenal, wouldn't it? It would just, there'd
Yeah.
be so much less wars, so much less violence, so much less crime, and we would actually live like more and more from the earth, wouldn't we? And money would be seen differently. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be used to control people. It would be used as an exchange of energy, and people would be spread more fairly, because people would understand how to make and create money, and the energy and the flow of money. So there would just be so much could shift just from the people being impacts. I think, like you say, people who have that ego and they feed their own ego and they use power to do so. But I think that's different is when you put the word power in empowerment, and when you feel empowered as a
Mm-hmm.
person, you want to empower others for them to feel true in
Yeah.
their self. That's when the shift happens. And that's the difference between power and control and being empowered as a person, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But now, like, I want to normalize the fact that we as like people who can um regulate their emotions, because this is basically where it starts. If we really want to create that shift and have that impact and create a better world, if not for ourselves, then for our kids, we need to not be afraid to step into those places that hold power. We
Yeah.
need not to be afraid to create businesses that make big money. We need not to be afraid to um, raise our voices. We need not to be afraid to go into politics. I know it's not a very pleasant place to be, but sometimes we just have to, if not as politicians, then maybe as activists, things like that.
Yeah. And even just speaking up, like using your platforms to speak up to empower others as well, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
I think even just like having a business that makes a big impact, makes money so that you can do more, those two things alone are going to be big shifts, aren't they? And the more women that feel steady enough and empowered enough to do that, just imagine the impact that that would have.
Yeah.
Imagine like lots and lots of millionaires and billionaires who are grounded women, and the impact that that could make into the world. Like, it's just unbelievable without even going into politics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just to empower other people to be able to live a more authentic life, and for them to move forward, because then naturally the people that are drawn into politics will go into politics, but just hopefully we're creating generations of people that are more steady and grounded
Yeah.
that do go into that place.